יהי רצון פרשת נוח 5781, יהי רצון ללימוד שבלרפואת כל החולים, ובתוכם טניה בת הודה מרגלית, יוסף יאיר בן אביב וחווה, הרב סיוון בן סימה, ולחולי הרב יעקב צבי בן ליבה, לרפואת כל החולים. When we go into Noach, we know that there are many, many deep questions about his character. Was he so special that he was saved? Or was he so at fault that he could have saved? But there's an interesting sentence in the Zohar HaKadosh that he compares Noach to something else. And he says that Noach b'chinat Shabbat. That Noach is the idea of Shabbat. So there's a couple of reasons why this is the vision of the Zohar. Number one, the name of Noach comes from Menucha, which is very much the core idea of Shabbat, that you could rest. Another idea is that when we look at the character of Noach, he is very much a continuer of what God said. Vayas Noach kechol asher tziva oto Elokim. Noach's character is that he does what he's told. The essence of Shabbat, like we see in Masechet Pesachim, Daf Kuf Vav, is that Shabbat is kovea nafsha. It stands on its own. And you just have to keep it. Just like Noach's character is one that listens to everything Hashem says, doesn't question, doesn't ask, doesn't add. He does what he's told. Same to Shabbat is a day where we do not change, we do not affect, we do not develop, we sit and receive. So the relation between Noach and Shabbat can be understood through his name and through his actions. But if we think about what the Zohar is saying, there could be a hidden message. That the reality of the world is something we need to be aware of. That very often we define success as something, but we're unaware of reality. So we'll say to ourselves that if you can accomplish, let's say, X, then you're a success. But what if accomplishing X in a place that is so different becomes from a success to a failure? That often what we do is decided not by, is it the right thing, but is it the right time? Is it the right place? And I think the Zohar is giving us a hidden secret to the danger of what it could be to be Noach. Is that he's so aware of the ideal. That Ele Toldot Noach ish tzaddik, Tamim, Haya bedorotav, Et Elokim italech Noach. He has all the ideals, all the great vision, all the great mindsets, all the right ideals. But was it the right time? In a world that was being destroyed, was it good to be Shabbat? When there are people that are suffocating and being lost and being broken, is the decision of living in Shabbat allowed? And I think that the antithesis of Noach was the Piyasatzner Rebbe. That yes, Noach was a very good listener, but in the wrong time. Noach was a great tzaddik in a time that needed a chassid. A tzaddik is someone that is very much uplifting himself. But the generation needed a chassid. Someone to talk, to ask, to listen to them, to care for them. So he was listening to Hashem in a time that people were lost. And the Piyasatzner Rebbe teaches that the reason for the failure of Am Yisrael is not Am Yisrael. It's Am Yisrael's leaders. It's the ones that are inside that don't have a window. The ones that live absorbed in self-growth. When outside the window, there's a tsunami of challenges going on. And so it's true that Noach was Menucha. And it's true that there's something beautiful about being a tzaddik. And it's incredible to be Tamim. But what's more important than the ideal is to become aware of the reality that we're in. And if the reality is calling out for action, then becoming passive is the most destructive decision we can make. The bracha as we enter into the parsha of Noach, in preparation for the yurtzeit of our master and our Rebbe, the Piasetzner Rebbe, and as we prepare for the story of Avram Avinu, that we realize that sometimes the greater question is not, do you understand concepts, but are you willing to be aware of reality and therefore redefine the concepts to fit the reality that we live in? Shabbat Shalom.